So something that Dokkan has seemingly just not been wanting to touch or even forgotten in a sense has been the availability of sub EZAs in the game. Now, sub EZAs are essentially banner units that, let's say, for example, this most recent banner with STR Perfect Cell, there's the physical Android 18. She is what's called a banner unit. She's not a Dokkan Fest, just a normal character, I guess you could say, that is then put into the general banner pool across Dokkan Fest and, any banner really. But I would say ideally Dokkan Fest because there are unfeatured LRs on LR carnival banners and things like that. But either way, they're just TUR characters that don't awaken to LR that are unfeatured on banners. So all in all, the Extreme Z Awakening for these characters I think are very useful and honestly more important than you may think when it comes to the game, because it can very easily help fill out a lot of these teams and a lot of these different, just setups. A lot of these characters also have interesting things that they could bring to the fight just in general on their own, that they have made some pretty good sub EZAs in the past. Unfortunately, again, Dokkan's not really doing much of those. The last time that we actually did receive a sub EZA was 4+ months ago with the Super Saiyan Goten here, which, again, it has been some time. Now, again, during the anniversary, I wasn't really expecting to get one. Yeah, if we see here, this Goten did to just get his Extreme Z Awakening on December 16th. Again, that was pretty much 4 months ago at this point. Not 4+ months, but 4 months ago at this point. Before then, we actually did get the Namek Saga sub EZs for the Super Saiyan Goku and then the Nail. But then, during Worldwide Celebration, we got no sub EZAs and things like that. And since then, we have not gotten a single sub EZA, as we call it, which a lot of these celebrations could have really benefited from a sub EZA. I think Goku's, youth celebration could have really benefited from one. Maybe even Daima Vegeta. There could have been some Super Saiyan 3 sub EZA or something that maybe could have worked well with this guy. STR Perfect Cell, there's a couple of sub EZAs, I think, like the second form cell, things like that, that could really help and benefit these main brand new Dokkan Fest teams, especially under last year. Maybe it wasn't as big of a deal because we're kind of pretty set into just the 200% meta, but now we're in the 220% leader skills, and I think that a lot of these characters would really like some of these extra options to help their team out in the newest difficult content available, because it feels like, a lot of these teams may not necessarily be as up to par in these new difficult fights as we would like. So that's basically all I'm saying there. Now, I'm bringing up this Int Turles as my example right here. This Int Turles is the second oldest character without an Extreme Z Awakening in terms of banner units, right? And we're going to take a look at just in general all the banner units that need an Extreme Z Awakening at the end of the video, at least the oldest one specifically, so we can get a good look at how much Dokkan is actually holding back on some of these sub EZs here. But this Int Turles, I think, is a character I kind of probably would have preferred more so last year to get his Extreme Z Awakening, but I could easily see a movie boss's kind of comeuppance this year, because we have the Tech Janemba EZA that can happen. For example, we have the LR Golden Frieza EZA, STR Cooler, Physical LR Metal Cooler. A lot of people are thinking that the Worldwide Celebration could be a Namek Saga, Goku versus Frieza, leading into Resurrection F, Blue Goku versus Golden Frieza. So if that is the case, movie bosses would probably get a brand new leader and things like that. I could see that happening. So then maybe a movie boss is just, again, resurgence in general. There's still some good movie bosses character like Tech Broly and in Broly short fights are still really, really good. I could see even LR Cell Max potentially having a little bit of a bump up in there, right? STR Slug, he does want demonic power, but maybe he could have a little bit of a buff up there, things like that. But I think this movie boss's kind of roster of characters could really have a resurgence. And Broly Trail, as long as there's a Rainbow Orb Changer, this character will end up always being a very useful option with his guaranteed dodge. Maybe not on red zone stages, but I mean, you could theoretically take this character as long as the rest of your team is doing enough damage into the festival battles fight, and then as long as you have a rainbow opportunity with them, they're guaranteed dodging, I guess, right? You know, just in the future, not right now, obviously, but yeah. So, I mean, yeah, no, this guy has a really great league set. I think he's going to be on some really effective teams. And he is an all ally supporter. So even like just throwing him on pure Saiyans, you could just throw him on the new Tech Vegito team, the new Age of Gogeta team. He would be able to help out there. Maybe we can get like even a Terrifying Conquerors leader instead. You know, Demon King Piccolo would actually fit that team as well. So that's like a newer option that would help out here. But yeah, no, I could see these teams end up being very, very useful in the near future. So I'm really hoping that Interlist will get some love and shine here. Then next we do have this Xeno Trunks. I didn't really bring him up because I'm not sure, like, okay, I mean, he's on some good teams right now, but I feel like if they awaken him, they might just make him like tied to crossover or maybe even like time travelers. Time travelers is an interesting potential setup in the future. I mean, this Super Saiyan Bardock is supporting time travelers. I mean, to be fair, I think this character does lead time travelers. Yeah, so like all the Dragon Ball, like, you know, the Dokkan Battle story mode characters have something in relation to time travelers, if we're being completely fair. But I could see like a time travelers kind of new team. Like maybe we get, I don't know, a blue Vegeta versus Rose or something, or like a, yeah, like a blue Vegeta that fights the Goku Black could be interesting. Like what if like blue Vegeta as the May Dokkan Fest or something, and then some sort of Goku Black or Zamasu as the Part 2 LR could be really interesting. And the next year that could lead into maybe even like anniversaries like Blue Vegito, like a tag Blue Vegito and then a tag Goku Black and Zamasu could be something that can happen maybe. We'll have to see what really goes on with it, but you know, at that point, like they could just easy these two characters, they could easy this guy, these two. Like there's a lot of future saga, like kind of really big Extreme Z Awakening super EZAs they can get for physical VB, Jiro Rose. Like there's a lot that they could do for future saga in the upcoming future. So so I mean, Xeno Trunks eventually getting Extreme Z Awakening could be cool, or maybe for like a heroes, like kind of just a batch of EZAs, because we know that they're going to continue to Extreme Z Awaken the heroes characters, so maybe they just give this guy his own Extreme Z Awakening there. But those are the two oldest characters without an Extreme Z Awakening, right? And again, we'll talk about more of these other ones, but let's go ahead and take a look here at some of the replies that I made to this tweet, which was not made too long ago, so we didn't really get a lot of replies just yet. But let's see here. Does he count? Super Kaioken Goku. This is a character that a lot of people have been bringing up recently, because a lot of people actually want Super Kaioken Goku to be like the Part 2 LR to the celebration. And then like we got like the Paikuhan and this Goku's Extreme Z Awakenings and things like that. I'm definitely down for that. The only thing is like if they would give us a new LR Super Kaioken Goku, that would suck for this guy. Unless it's like a transforming one maybe, but yeah, I would rather like it'd be like just the Bye Guys Goku, and then they awaken this Super Kaioken Goku in the Paikuhan anyways. I think that'd be really cool. Now, this character is a little different on Global and JP, but they will just make them the same for the most part in terms of their kits. Now, the stats are actually also different. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Global version actually, does he not have higher stats, but the JP version has like higher... Wait, let me actually bring this up here. Where is the Super Kaioken Goku? Are the stats higher in JP or are they the same? They actually have the same stats. I think it's, is it Paikuhan that's different between the both versions? I know that obviously the Super Kaioken Goku's passive on the global version is weaker than the JP version because the JP version came out at a later time. And obviously at that time, they weren't like thinking about like, oh, you know, we got to think about the sync. I got to actually bring up the let me take a look here. No, wait, I'm not bringing up the right thing. I was trying to bring up here for the JP sites. I think it's right here. Like, yeah, here's the JP Super Kaioken Goku. We'll have to bring up the tournament participants again. That's fantastic. But well, give me a second. the big change between these two is obviously this guy has prepared for battle, which is really weird. I don't know why they gave him prepared for battle, but they did. The stats itself, yeah, see, Paikuhan has more defense on JP, but more attack on global, which is, I don't know why they just specifically decided to make those changes for the global version. I mean, that's a cool, you know, sure. Yeah, these guys could be like a nice little extra set of options on the new tournament participants team. I definitely do agree with both of them. So, we'll refresh one more time just in case. Let's see here. Physical Slug is another really good, you know, option to bring up. Physical Slug is also one of the older characters without an Extremity Awakening. I might be able to actually even bring up Physical Slug by going here, potentially. You see, there's, look at, you can kind of get a glimpse of all these characters. Yeah, there's Physical Slug right here, one of the older ones. And again, like, you know, we see these guys got their first EZA at this time, which is really crazy. So here's Physical Slug, man. I mean, he would have been perfect for the Lord Slug celebration, and for some reason, like, nah. Eventually, they can get this guy an EZA, and he can work really well with the STR Slug. Obviously, they'll share a lot of different links. Namekians, Nightmare Metamorphosis, Thirst for Conquest, Big Bad Bosses are all the links that they'll share. 5 really good links overall, like in terms of the buffs that they're providing. This guy has a giant form, so he could have like a team protector ability that activates. That's something you can control, but if it does happen, you know, he will basically erase the boss's super attacks for the turn, which is a nice little ability always to have. This guy also has multiplicative stats already, so you know, he has an interesting starting kit where I think that this guy could be one of the better sub EZAs just in that's Dokkans ever released in general, right? So Physical Slug is another really nice option here. Since Tech Goten's, you just want a new one. Yeah, the STR Trunks and Gohan. Yeah, again, these guys not getting an EZA is so, it is kind of sad. I don't think they're not really this, like, that Trunks is like probably super, how do I explain it? He's probably really like up there in terms of like the available sub EZAs. Not that it really matters. Like, they don't go in order of like, you know, oh, we have to go by the exact release date for these characters. But you see this Trunks is all the way up here. Now, this guy only buff Cyber Saiyans. They could have added like movie heroes to this or something like that. Obviously, the thing about this character is there's a unit super attack with the Gohan Youth here. He actually does stack defense when the Gohan Youth is there. So, I mean, obviously, the new LR Super Saiyan Goku, Gohan, and Trunks came out, and then they actually would share a good amount of links like Super Saiyan. Well, actually, would it be just Super Saiyan and Fierce Battle? Would they not share like as many links as I was thinking? Super Saiyan, Golden Warrior, and Fierce Battle. Yeah, because this Trunks actually doesn't have prepared for battle. But obviously, he gave key support, so it wasn't really that big of a deal. But yeah, no, this Trunks could have been like a really nice EZA for these guys. And I mean, like, these guys are not a character you're running on rotation anymore like that. So even if this guy gets an EZA like now, I don't know. I would assume, like, at this point, just save his EZA for their EZA. Right? Well, at this point, pretty much. Which, you know, the Super Saiyan Trunks, they're not bad or anything like that, right? But they're not like, you know, crazy, like, you know, oh, they're on rotation main mega leaders of the team, right? You'd be down for one to happen. STR cell. We talked about STR second form cell, but I guess I might as well bring them up because I didn't really talk about them in a exact sense. I guess maybe I should search up cell instead. The search function is a little bit finicky, you guys know, right? So where is second form cell? Like this guy again. Like, why not using him right now? Literally extreme class entered cell saga gets the buff. He doesn't want to be facing these enemies. I think they should just remove this, to be honest, but maybe they wouldn't. Add defense here. Like, there's a lot of things they could do for this second form cell to make him good, but you know, they said no, they don't like him. So, you know, they don't like STR cell, I guess. Physical Kaioken Goku, when are we getting sub EZAs? We've been missing on physical Had Paiku Goku sub EZA. Yeah, Hachan then an EZA would have been really good. These two getting Extreme Z Awakenings for the like if Ginyu comes out with an EZA and these two don't EZA, I feel like that's just like a matching pair. I think Ginyu is a character where it's like he himself has so little options. They have to EZA these guys. Like they have to, because Ginyu is like based around the Ginyu Force team. I mean, if they don't, like they would have to like give Ginyu support and make him good on also Terrifying Conquerors, because like Ginyu's the one character where I'm like, they gave him 2 brand units for a reason, because they know like he's a Ginyu Force team leader, right? So they would like, he's Ginyu Force support, gets buffs per Ginyu Force ally. When there's another Ginyu Force ally in the team, like his whole kit is Ginyu Force, unless they just also just put like Terrifying Conqueror, which ideally would be really good. Because for some reason, like it's funny, like it's Ginyu Force, but then he doesn't like work with like Frieza, which is kind of funny in that sense. But like if they would change it to where it's like, oh, you know, it's also Terrifying Conquerors and they don't give these guys EZAs, that would suck. But you know, it'd be okay, I guess, if there's a really good Terrifying Conquerors like setup. Maybe this guy, what if he gives like 60% attack and defense also to Frieza, like 60% attack and defense is Ginyu Force, and then Frieza allies get a 60% attack and defense too, and then it's like he's like a mega Frieza support floating around on like a Frieza team or something. It could be a really good EZA. He's stacking and everything, but I would like these guys to get an EZA too, just to make him look the best he possibly can. But you know, I'm kind of scared. Like, what if they don't? It would be kind of interesting. I mean, this Tech Krillin didn't EZA with the Goten and Trunks, so I guess they didn't really need him as much as Ginyu does. Super Saiyan Trunks, we talked about him. Second form Cell. STR Piccolo, this is definitely a character I'm excited for, but I don't really think he's necessary. This guy would be a really good EZA when LR Orange Piccolo gets an EZA, or maybe when we get like a brand new standalone LR Orange Piccolo. Int Kaba. For Blue Evolution, I guess. Demigra could be a nice little option, like Extreme Class Majin Buu Saga. This guy would have been really good when Tech Buuhan came out. Like again, like there's so many of these sub EZAs, Xenoverse EZAs. I think just being excited for these guys makes sense in general. They don't really have a team right now, but like if Time Travelers again becomes like really interesting, I guess Tech Toa only just wants to be on Extreme Class, right? So that could be useful. Oh yeah, the OG stacking nukers, Physical Blue Goku, and then Tech Blue Vegeta. These guys were really good on release. I could look up Super Saiyan God SS. And then these guys were really, really impactful characters when they first came out. They are back here. I remember when they first came out, they were actually on... What category was it that they were on? Was it Universe Survival Saga? It was like one of the categories that would be like, oh, they're from the Universe Survival Saga, but in reality, they're actually from the Resurrection F, because they have the Resurrection F links, which is why I think they took them off that category, because, you know, it makes sense. They're not really from that arc specifically, because they have these Resurrection F links. Again, maybe these guys get a sub EZA when we get like a Resurrection F celebration, the Resurrection F Blue Goku / Vegeta EZA. We can get a brand new just like LR Blue Goku. Maybe it could be a tag Resurrection F Blue Goku and Blue Vegeta. Or honestly, I would prefer just a Blue Goku. Did you guys know that there's no like LR Super Saiyan Blue Goku? Like there's no Super Saiyan God SS Goku as an LR. Isn't that crazy? I think that's why like him just getting an LR during Worldwide for like, you know, Resurrection F would be cool. Cause like, I mean, outside of Resurrection F, like Super Saiyan Blue, the Broly move looks really cool. But like in DB Super, like, I guess it could be like a Blue Goku into Kaioken Blue Goku. Future Saga has the Rage Blue Goku, I guess. Which definitely, he can get an LR too, I guess, right? At this point, like, it's Blue Goku. I'm trying to think of like another Blue Goku moment, but like, you know, Tournament of Power, Blue Goku's like, he just does his thing, right? But a lot of the hype there is Ultra Instinct, so. Super Saiyan 3, Vegeta and Xenoverse characters, Inter Illustrators. I mean, yeah, at this point, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the older characters, because this is already 20 minutes in. About time. Let's take a look here. So I think some characters these people didn't bring up. Super Baby 2, physical, or the STR GT Super Saiyan 3 Goku, the physical Pan, and then there's the STR GT Trunks. All those characters didn't get Extreme Z Awakenings for whatever reason. I don't know. I can't really explain why. It would be nice. It would have been nice during, you know, the anniversary. But maybe when we get like a Super Baby like Dokkan Fest celebration, eventually that can happen. Again, these two, some of the oldest characters. The AGL Super Saiyan 2 Gohan here, AGL Bojack. Let's keep going. This Int Super Saiyan Goku, this Orb Changer, huh? This guy hasn't got an EZA yet. I mean, I don't know when they would like EZA him. He's not really tied to a specific saga or anything, as you can see. He's just like a generic Super Saiyan Goku. He's not like, you know, oh, this is the Android Cell Saga Super Saiyan Goku. This is the Majin Buu Saga Super Saiyan Goku. He's just like a generic Super Saiyan Goku that they brought out, you know. Which there are a couple of those in the game. But yeah, let's keep looking here. The Grade 8 Bardock characters here. This Tech Bardock and Fasha. Then I don't know why the other Team Bardock characters aren't around here. Oh, well, okay. They're down here. I wonder why they're separated so far with the IDs, but that's okay. They're definitely just awakened at separate times. The Tech GT Trunks, Xeno Trunks here. There's a lot of different characters that I think could really benefit. But I'm ending here. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Appreciate y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.